Greenland. The first settlers of Greenland were ancient peoples from North America, specifically the Sakak culture, arriving around 2500 BCE, followed by the Independence and Dorset cultures. These Paleo-Eskimo groups adapted to the Arctic environment for millennia before the arrival of the Norse Vikings led by Eric the Red around 982 AD, and eventually the Thule people, ancestors of modern Inuit, in the 12th through 13th centuries. Early migrations, Paleo-Eskimo, Sakak culture, c. 2500–900 BCE, the earliest known inhabitants migrating from North America, known for sophisticated tools from bone, stone, and driftwood, thriving on marine hunting. Independence culture, c. 1200–700 BCE, settled in northern Greenland, focusing on musk ox hunting. Dorset culture, c. 600 BCE, 1200 CE, replaced the Sakak, known for their distinct stone tools, including the ulo, woman's knife. Viking settlement, Norse, Eric the Red, c. 982 AD. Banished from Iceland, this Norse explorer landed in Greenland, established the first European settlements, Eastern Settlement and Western Settlement, and gave the island its name to attract settlers. Notes local histories and History Extra. Later, Inuit arrival Thule people, c. 12th, 13th century. The ancestors of today's Inuit, migrating from Canada, became the dominant culture, eventually replacing or assimilating the earlier Paleo-Eskimo groups and interacting with the Norse before their disappearance, as detailed on the Denmark.dk and Britannica websites, say Wikipedia and Britannica. The first people to reside in Iceland were likely Irish monks, known as the Popar, followed by Norse Vikings who established the first permanent settlements in the late 9th century. Unlike Greenland, Iceland had no indigenous population before these arrivals. Pre-Norse visitors, Irish monks, Papar. According to early Icelandic records like the Íslendingabók, Irish monks or hermits lived in Iceland for solitude as early as the 8th century. Settlement style. These were small, seasonal, or eremitic communities rather than large, permanent colonies. Departure. Sources claim they left upon the arrival of heathen Norsemen, leaving behind bells, books, and croziers. Evidence. While archaeological proof is debated, some man-made caves, like the Caves of Hela, and recent carbon-dated ruins suggest human activity as early as 800 AD. Permanent Norse settlement, c. 874 AD. The Age of Settlement, Landnam Sold, traditionally began in 874 AD and lasted until approximately 930 AD. Ingolfur Arnarsson, recognized as the first permanent settler, he founded a homestead in Reykjavik, Smoky Bay, after sailing from Norway. Accidental discovery. Before Ingolfur, explorers like Nadod, who named it Snowland, and Gardar Svavarsson, the first to circumnavigate the island, reached Iceland accidentally. Naming Hrafna Flóki, Raven Flóki, was the first Norseman to sail there intentionally. He gave the island its name, Iceland, after seeing drift ice during a harsh winter. Demographic roots. Genetic and historical evidence reveals a mixed heritage for the original population. Norse origin. Between 60% and 80% of male settlers were of Norse origin, primarily from Western Norway. Gaelic origin. Approximately 62% of the maternal gene pool is derived from Ireland and Scotland. Many of these individuals were brought to Iceland as slaves or servants by Norse chieftains, while others were Hiberno-Norse families from the British Isles. Norway. The first people of Norway were nomadic hunter-gatherers who migrated to the region approximately 11,000 to 12,000 years ago, around 9,500 to 10,000 BCE, as the great ice sheets of the last ice age began to retreat. The two migration waves' genomic data indicates that Norway was populated by two distinct groups of migrants following two different routes. From the south, one group of Western hunter-gatherers arrived from modern-day Denmark and Germany, following the melting ice northward along the coast. From the northeast, A second group of eastern hunter-gatherers migrated along the ice-free Atlantic coast from the Kola Peninsula and northern Russia. These groups eventually met and intermixed, forming the Scandinavian hunter-gatherers, who were genetically more diverse than contemporary populations in southern Europe. Early archaeological cultures. Archaeologists categorize these first inhabitants into two main regional groups based on their tool-making traditions. Fosna culture, settled primarily in southern and western Norway. They lived in seasonal camps and focused on seal hunting and fishing. Kamsa culture, located in northern Norway, Finnmark, and Troms. Though their stone tools appeared different, they are now often considered part of the broader Fosna tradition. Nustvet culture, c. 7000 BCE, succeeded the Fosna culture as the climate warmed, leading to increased forestation and new land-based hunting opportunities. The arrival of the Sami and Germanic peoples. Neither the modern Sami nor the Germanic-speaking Norwegians were the first inhabitants, though both descend partly from these original Mesolithic populations. Germanic peoples descended from Indo-European steppe herders, Yamnaya, who arrived at the dawn of the Bronze Age around 2000–2500 BCE, bringing agriculture and the precursor to the Norwegian language. Sami people developed from Uralic-speaking groups who arrived from the east around 1000 BCE to 500 BCE. They are the internationally recognized indigenous people of Norway today. Yes, many of the first people to settle in Norway approximately 11,000 to 12,000 years ago likely had dark skin and blue eyes, similar to the genetic profile of Cheddarman. However, unlike the population in Britain, the early settlers of Norway were a unique mix of two different groups, which led to a more varied range of dark skin tones even in the earliest periods. 1. The Cheddarman connection, southern route. The migrants who arrived from the south, modern-day Denmark and Germany, are known as Western hunter-gatherers, WHG. Appearance. Genetically similar to Cheddarman, this group typically had dark to very dark skin, dark hair, and blue eyes. Genetics. They carried the ancestral versions of skin pigmentation genes like SLC24A5 and SLC45A2, which result in darker skin. 2. The Eastern exception, northeastern route. A second group, the Eastern hunter-gatherers, EHG, migrated into Norway from the northeast along the Atlantic coast. Appearance. This group already possessed genetic variants for lighter, but still dark, hunter-gatherers' skin and darker eyes, brown. Blonde hair. Genetic evidence suggests the gene for blonde hair may have originated in this eastern population. 3. The result: Scandinavian hunter-gatherers, SHG, like Cheddarman, but with albinism mutations. In Norway and Sweden, these two groups met and intermixed, creating the Scandinavian hunter-gatherers, SHG. Mixed phenotypes. Because of this early mixing, prehistoric Norway had one of the most diverse-looking populations in ancient hunter-gatherer Europe. Evolutionary advantage. While the south migrating group was dark-skinned like Cheddarman, the lighter mutation in skin genes from the eastern group spread quickly in the low-light environment of the far north. Gradual change. Genetic studies of remains from this era show individuals with a mix of intermediate skin tones, ranging from dark to light. Recent DNA tests revealed a shared genetics with modern Inuit peoples.